My name is Zransky, and welcome back to Bridges aren't something most people think about. Here in Indiana, most bridges are small and unnoticeable, but obscured by thick woods sits a steel-through truss bridge crossing the Eel River in Indiana. This small relic of the past sits hidden in the forest, growing weaker by each day. While it is being left to decay, it still carries an immense significance. The biggest question about the Eel River Steel Bridge is when it was constructed. Another bridge, a covered one, was built on Eagle Road leading into Liberty Mills in 1873, according to Ava Barefoot of the Wabash County Museum. Looking at this map provided by Barefoot, we can see that in 1876 the Eagle Road Bridge was the only bridge leading into Liberty Mills, meaning we can place the construction of the steel bridge after 1876. Looking to a website called historicbridges.org, we can learn more about the bridge itself. Historic Bridges and Bridge Browser both state the construction as circa 1890. According to Historic Bridges, the bridge's length is around 150 feet, its road width is at 14.8 feet, and it is classified as a steel-through truss bridge. Finally, Bridge Hunter rated the overall condition of the bridge as poor and the superstructure condition rating as an imminent failure. This subject was more difficult than other abandoned structures, due to the surpluses of former steel bridges in North Manchester, Indiana. Sandy Benson of the North Manchester Center for History states that there were two bridges, one on East Pratt, built in 1910, and one on Enyart Road, built in 1920. But if this were the case, it would contradict the Bridge Hunter website, meaning it was built later. This information could be referring to other bridges, but looking at Google Maps, there would be no other areas for a bridge. Furthermore, Enyart Road is not the actual road the bridge is on. First Street, also known as CR 325 East, is. The rest of my research comes from primary testimony. Local dairy farmer Darrell Penrod, who grew up a few miles outside of Liberty Mills, but regularly visited. He recalls the bridge being around since he was young. At the time of writing, he is 67. One story he told involved his brother sitting atop the steel support beams, pelting passerbys on a local hayride with corn. Further down the river, he and his friends had tubed down the stream and over the Liberty Mills Dam, an 8-foot drop as he recalls. Remains of the dam, removed in October of 2012, can still be seen today. Researching this dam was actually quite difficult because there were actually two dams removed around the same time, both in North Manchester. Returning to the steel bridge, Penrod recalls the bridge closing around the late 1970s to early 80s, with 85 being the last possible date it was open. The story of the closing, as retold by him, involves a man named Danny Kiefaber who drove his tractor over the bridge. But the tractor's wheel collided with one of the supports, severely damaging it and eventually leading to its closure. But when looking at the Indiana Historic Bridges Annual Report, it classifies the closure of the bridge to be in 2012. In addition, Bridge Hunter mentions that as of 2014, the average daily traffic was around 40 cars are people, it is not stated. Penrod said that the bridge might have remained open to foot traffic, but with all this conflicting evidence, we cannot pin an exact time to its closure. Exploration involved us traveling over and under the bridge. As mentioned before, the bridge is in a really bad state. Just jumping on the bridge results in it shaking. Most of the supports have begun to show signs of rust, while the road's asphalt is filled with cracks and weeds. Metal barriers and mounds of earth block any vehicles from crossing onto it. Beneath the bridge, the supports and cement holding it up are beginning to wither. It also appears to be a hangout spot for locals, as beer cans, graffiti, and even a muffler were found. Down the Eel River, we encountered the remains of the Liberty Mills Dam. They look more like a maze and appear to be structurally unsound. Both the Liberty Mills Bridge and the Liberty Mills Dam are in dire condition. In my opinion, it is only a matter of time before the bridge ends up in the river. While some might consider the bridge to be of historical value, at the time of writing, there are no attempts to save it. According to the annual report for 2020 on the programmatic agreement among the Federal Highway Administration, the Indiana Department of Transportation, the Indiana State Historic Preservation Officer, and the Advisory Council on Historic Preservation regarding management and preservation of Indiana historic bridges, it is listed as non-select. Essentially, this means that the bridge is not selected to be preserved, meaning that it is going to sit there and decay until it collapses. One thing that really stuck out to me was a comment from Penrod about a man who traveled across the bridge nearly every single day. I was thrilled to talk to him, until I realized he had passed. This helped reinforce us as to why we do what we do, because one day the original storytellers will be gone. Our goal is to preserve the stories of these buildings, bridges, structures, and anything like this before it is too late. Thank you for watching, and good night.